So here we are, we finally arrived at the day when we're actually going to fly our DJI Mavic 2 Zoom. And I have not flown this before. This is my first time out. I have the quick start guide that came with the Zoom, but I also have a printout of the complete manual off of DJI's site. And I do recommend that you get this, because this way you can train yourself step by step to use all of the drone's capabilities. So literally this week, I'm going to keep coming out here and walk through each of the capabilities and get them down very well before I fly it in an area with either a lot of water, because I have a lot of friends who have splashed down their drones into water, or an area where, you know, there might be people around, although you can't fly over a lot of people, or an area where there may be traffic or whatever, you know, just a more congested area. But I recommend that you find an area that's wide open and that does not have water, because if you screw up and it drops into water, it may be hard to retrieve. So I already have my phone inside of the controller. I just have to spread out the propellers on the drone itself. I have a target that's easy for the drone to record in case I run into problems and I have to hit the return to home button. So that's why I brought this out with me. And I have the drone carrier with 2 extra batteries in there. So I did get the you know, the kit that has the 2 extra batteries, some extra propellers, and a couple of other pieces that should come in handy out here. So let's get started. And the first thing we're going to do is just fold out the arms. And again, this is all per instructions. I read up on it ahead of time. There we go, and then just spread out these propellers. So I have it all set up. The propellers are all spread out. I have it aimed that way. It's set in beginner mode, which means it can only go about 30 yards away from me. I also like that because I did have friends who got drones and the drones immediately took off, just got away from them and took off. I am a beginner. I have to suck it up and I have to do it this way. So let's get started. Here we go. And I did practice a little bit with the controls on a toy drone. And the reason I practiced with a toy drone was that I knew that the controls were pretty consistent across models, and if I knew the basics of the toy drone, then I would be able to fly this drone. And that training is actually coming in handy. So here comes the drone back at us. Now, this one has so much better control than the toy that I owned. The toy that I owned, I couldn't do this. Take my fingers off of the tabs and have it just lie in place. The toy one, I had to keep controlling it, which is actually to my benefit because it forced me to learn the controls inside and out. So that the left toggle is taking it up and down. I can bring it a little closer to show you that. Okay, so the left toggle is up and down. Wow, I can't believe how this just hangs in place. Look at that. And it's a little breezy out too. And the left toggle also changes the direction of the camera. So now the camera is aimed back at us. So that's pretty cool. So up and down, and then turning the camera. And then the right toggle is the forward and reverse. Here it comes back at us. And then it'll take us left and right. But the control on this is unbelievable. Wow. This is really thrilling. So again, if I didn't play with the toy, and I'll show you the toy in a couple of minutes, if I didn't play with the toy, I couldn't really fly this at all with any confidence. And here it comes back at us. And I know with the GoPro it's kind of vanishing from your field of vision, but this is just incredible, incredible control that this has. Here it is, it's right over us. Then we go higher, lower, forward. And again, this is the first time flying it, and it's just really absolutely thrilling for me. And I'm so glad I got the toy drone ahead of time, because I would not want to be practicing this. With a, you know, a $1,200 drone. I also recommend that you don't do this in an area with a lot of trees, because I've had people, had friends who hit trees and ended up in the drink too. So here it comes forward, now the camera is facing us. So I'm just trying to get used to how to control it when the camera is facing me, especially on the right and left pivot, because it's the opposite of what I would think it would be. So here we go. And the control systems, the obstacle avoidance control systems are on. So here it comes up again. Let me get it real close to you so you can see what this looks like. Pretty cool, huh? I love it, love it. Uh-oh, but I just realized something. I didn't take the gimbal cover off, so that's why my camera's not working. So I'm gonna press, just press for it to land. Bringing it up. It sees the target. Wow, that was a rookie mistake right there. Forgot to take off the gimbal cover. So there it is. So now I'm going to take the gimbal cover off and we'll get some video shots. This is a very, very forgiving drone. Okay, so I have the cover off. Going back into the app. It's telling me it's ready to go. I'm not in any kind of restricted airspace out here. Waiting for it to hook into the camera. Okay, I just realized another rookie mistake I was making is my my phone had a cover on it and it wasn't connecting to the app very well, so I wasn't getting the camera shot I should have been getting. Even with the gimbal cover on, I still should have seen some of the visuals. So I'm just taking this, lining it up again. There we go. Again, this is learning. This is the first time I've been out here. I haven't wrecked it, so I think I'm ahead of the game. Now let me sign back into the GoPro app, the DJI app. Okay, now we're looking good. I got my act together. But again, here's the controller. You can see my phone's hooked up. I hope you can see that. But it's shooting the pad itself, so I know everything's up and running. It's saying it's fine to fly. This is giving me all the indications of the battery, indicators for both the drone and the controller. And again, I'm getting a good visual. There's a little map here, so I know exactly what I'm doing. And now let's try it with the camera active. And what I'll do is when I edit this, I will edit in what it looked like as it was flying, the actual footage that the drone itself got. So to get it to take off, I have it all hooked up. It's all put together right. You take these sticks and put them in like this. And that starts the process. And then I'm going to press record for film on this side. So let's see. Just making sure that it's recording. Okay, I see a little indicator that says I am recording now, so I know things are moving along just fine. So let's take off again. Here we go. I'm going to go forward first. And I'll show you the video. I'll cut the video into it. Then I'm turning the camera back toward us. And here it comes. Now I'm using the right toggle to get it to go forward. And move it over just a little toward us. Here we go. Coming right at us. Very nice. Thrilled. Now you can see yourself. And again, the only thing it's taken me a little time to get used to is left and right are off with it when it's facing toward me. So that just takes a little practice. And I had to do this with a toy drone too. And I can see that this camera gimbal is very, very steady. If this was the toy drone, I'd be a little nervous getting those blades so close to me. But this one has just amazing control. Look at that. And now there are controls for the gimbal, for the camera on the front. And I hope you can see as I'll bring it a little closer. Oh, it's using object avoidance. I think it doesn't want to run into me. So it's not going to come any closer than this. I guess that's a sign of a good drone. But if you could see it, let me move it over just a little bit. You could see that there's these wheels on top, and that's what's making the camera go up and down. And then this the wheel on the right side is doing the zoom. So these are really elemental controls, and I think that, you know, your first time out with the drone, I think you'll pick up these parts pretty quickly. And it's programming the drone that might take a little extra knowledge. But again, I'm so glad I practiced with the toy drone because this is not intimidating me. Look at that control. So I'm going to run it way back, and then I'm going to have it come right toward us. There we go. You know, it's a lot quieter than I thought it was going to be too. That's kind of a thrill too, because I know that, oh, look at that. I'm throttling forward. I have it trying to go forward, but it's not coming any closer. The drone's saying, I'm not going to hit you on the camera. And I'm grateful for that. I don't think me or the camera needs to get nailed by the drone. I know it's kind of going like a drunken sailor, but I just want to try all of these different settings and attitudes. Now I'm taking it back and aiming away from us. And again, this is in beginner mode. And let's see if I throttle forward how far away it'll go. It automatically stopped out there. There it is, even backwards. Whoa. Even backwards, it did finally throttle and say, hey, I don't want to hit that guy. But, you know, just be careful when you're doing this, and read up on it before you do it. I'm just testing that limit again. I really like that this has that limit. So now I'm using the throttle to take it around and see how far away it goes. Yep, it's kind of doing an arc. It's doing an arc around me because it is programmed when it's in beginner mode not to go that far away, which, you know, that's a gift. Makes it less likely that you're going to lose this. Now I'm going to back it toward us. So there it is. And you know, my objective today was really just to learn the basics of smooth flying I mean, certainly how to take it off, hook it up into the controller, and get it nice and smooth, and also to learn how to move it in 3D space safely, and how to operate the cameras. And now really what I'm going to do is just practice getting this around the field nice and smoothly, and get my confidence up for taking off and landing and moving it about in a 3D space. So here we go. I'm going to turn it back around and head out into the field. So I'm taking it up as high as it'll go. I want to zoom out so you can see where I am. And then let's take it around 360. Look at that, nice and smooth. And it's pretty far up. That's impressive, and it's staying nice and level. The camera is incredibly smooth. If there's any stutter, it's my fault. But look at that. I can't believe how well this works. And now when I bring it around, I'm going to bring the, oh, there's a camera tilting up. I'm tilting the camera down, and let's see if it can find me. Yep, there I am. It's coming closer. I love this zoom feature. Tilt it down, oops. Tilt it down just a little bit more. And then I'm going to bring it over just a little. There we go. Let's zoom a little, whoop, just zoomed out. See, I'm getting some of the controls backwards, but you know, that's the fun of it. So let me wave. Wow, you're way up there. You're way up there. You're in nosebleed country. So now let's see how much more up I can make it go. Okay, so they put about the same limit in beginner mode that it had on the ground. So again, it won't take off on you. So try the beginner mode. Take your time, get the controls down in this beginner mode. You're safer, anyone around is safer, and you're not going to lose that drone. Because again, my biggest concern is in some of the demo pieces they put together, they show someone go right out on the beach the first time and fly it over the ocean. And I can just tell you, that's a quick way to lose your drone. I mean, if that lands in the water, unless it lands on a surfboard, you're in big trouble. So now, what I'm going to do now is check my battery limits for the drone. And let's see. I'm going to need my glasses for this. It's just a little kind of bright out here. So let me see how much more flight time I have. Okay, so it's telling me I have 36% of battery power left, and it will warn me if I start to run out of battery power. But you know, because I'm a beginner, again, I'll probably take that down to maybe 20%, 15%, because I don't want it to just all of a sudden have some big technical problem. And I have 2 other flight batteries, so I'm not grounded just because I'm being conservative with the battery power. Looks like the drone's getting bored, so let me bring it down. It's coming down nice and smoothly. I have it toggled down the whole way, but it's coming down nice and smoothly. That's just pretty. And again, what's cool about the object avoidance system that it has, I brought it all the way down. In fact, let me show you that more close up. I'm going to bring the drone in. Oops. Again, I'm getting used to that right or left backwards thing. But let's bring it in nice and slow. Kind of flying like a drunken drone while I get used to that backwards control. I was never a video game player, so this This working with toggles is a little bit new to me. Okay, so let me bring it in just a little bit closer. So I want you to see this. And here we go. Maybe a little closer. Nope, it's saying I'm not going any closer. Those front object avoidance sensors are incredible. There's an intelligence, there's an amazing intelligence behind this. So now we're just going to go straight up. And I'll switch over to the recorded version. And I'm throttling it up, fully up. It's just going straight up. And now here it comes straight down. It's a nice measured speed in the beginner mode. And of course I'm ready to run if it suddenly starts to swivel at all. It's not. It is rock solid. Rock solid. There it is. So that's going up and down. And you can see. Now, if I wanted to land it, I would have just, it's automatically slowing down in the beginner mode. And it really slowed down. If I kept the toggle down, it would have landed and turned off. So let's go back up. But I'm going to go way out. I actually want to see more of that video when it's out there. I want to see what is beyond these trees. Oh, I'm getting a warning. I just got low battery warning. Time to land it. So let's bring it down, and I'm just going to replace the battery. Okay, so the best laid plans, my GoPro battery died. So anyway, so here's battery number 2 with the drone. Just click that in, set it down, connect, get it all connected up, and let's see. Okay, it's telling me it's all connected. The battery level on the drone is at 99%. Just have to get rid of one of these warnings. Okay, we're fine. I do like that they give you all of these different prompts. And we're good to go. So we're good to go for some more flying. So I'm pulling those toggles in. And here we go. And now I'm going to turn the recorder on. Going out to that limit. Yep, made it out as far as it wants to go. And now let's take it up. And this time what I'm doing is I'm watching the camera view. So I want to see in the camera view what's going on. And again, this thing can go up 400 feet, but it's only going up to the limit that's allowed in beginner mode. And now I'm just taking it over a little closer to that pond, but again, it's beginner mode, so I can go close to the pond and know that it's not going to splash in. If it does, I have a viral video. Okay, and now I want to play with the zoom with the camera. So it's zoomed all the way in. Nope. Now it's zooming all the way in. Okay, and then I'll change the tilt. And again, I'm getting used to the tilt in terms of right, left, whether that's up, down, and on the zoom, whether that's in or out. Again, beginner. This is the first time out here, and I'm having a ball. So here's our up, down, and again, that's these toggles right here. These ones shoot. This is record a video. This is shoot stills, and this is the camera tilt. There's our tilt, and I just love this thing is staying in place while I do this. Well, I learn. So that's our tilt. And then here's our zoom. And I work with mostly recording video, so that's why I got the Mavic Zoom, because I really want to be able to go out to different sites and have that ability to zoom without getting too close to the subject all the time. And there's some other really neat settings that we'll try out in the next video. So now what I'm going to do is just turn it around and we'll take a look at that landscape again. And this is as fast as it goes. That's rapid. And then this is as slow as I can get it to go. So there's a lot of control here. I really love that I can see the video as it's being shot. Now I'm coming down some. There we go. Down a little bit more. That's neat, and the video is so excellent. It's just stabilized to an incredible degree. Now the last thing I want to show you with the Mavic 2 Zoom today is the return to home setting. And that's really important because if you get into any kind of trouble, this will bring it back home. There's also this pause button, which if it's moving and getting erratic, you should be able to press that and it will stop exactly where it is. So if it starts to head off on you and you don't know what's going on, you can press that. Now I'm trying return to home. I think you can see it, it's right there. It has a home symbol on it, so let's try it. Okay, so now it's heading back. This is automatic, I'm not doing anything. Don't get nervous when it flies straight up, because it's actually getting a bearing on this target. And now it says landing, so it's coming down. Coming down nice and easy. So it went up to its maximum height. It got a bearing of where it knew that its home is, and here it comes. This is amazing. So I'm not doing this. See? It had a picture of where the target was. It just did that itself. I didn't do anything. So, return to home, critical, know that. So if you get into any trouble, and this is not even just in beginner mode, if you get into any trouble, this will bring it back. And the reason I have this target is it's a very distinct landmark. That H with the white and the colors, very distinct. So when I took off, this recorded what that looked like. The drone recorded what that looked like. That's its home. So if it was flying, which it was, way over there, and I pressed return to home, and it was down at this height, the first thing it did is it went up, took a look down here, found the target, and landed itself. That's incredible. Now I'm going to show you the toy drone so you can see how I learned how to fly a drone. And it's kind of funny. Wait till you see how unstable this is. So I'll be right back. So here is the toy drone that I used to fly to learn the basic controls of a drone. Now, the controls for this are identical to what we have with the Mavic 2 in terms of flying. The left toggle takes us up and down and turns it like this, and the right toggle forward, backwards, right, and left. The real difference with this is it doesn't have a really good stabilizer in it, and it's very light, so it's very susceptible to any wind. And to tell you the truth, of course, being a guy, I had to fly this indoors the first time, and my wife was not home, which is why I flew it indoors. I took off and immediately hit the popcorn ceiling, and if you know what a popcorn ceiling is, the little white pieces get all over the house, and I'm like, oh no. So I spent more time with a vacuum cleaner and a brush cleaning up those little pieces so that my wife wouldn't know than you'd believe. Which, of course, means the minute she walked in the house, she goes, "What's that?" The one piece I missed, she saw it, her radar. And so, you know, I said I wouldn't fly it indoors, and I finished cleaning up. And of course, the next week I flew again. And I kind of clipped the popcorn again, but not as bad as the first week. And I was actually able to have it go up and down my living room with no problem, other than the air conditioner switched on. This lost its stability and just kind of clipped the popcorn a little bit. And I spent another hour cleaning up the popcorn, only to have her come in and say, "What's that?" So we kind of had a truce, and I got much better at flying it. And I really did fly this indoors because it's just really not that great in wind. So you have to wait for a day when there's not a lot of wind. What's good about it is it's not so expensive that if you have an accident, you break it, that you're out, you know, $1,200, $1,300 or whatever you spend on your more advanced drone. And this does have propeller guards too, which, you know, that keeps you safe, your family safe, your pets safe. The only thing it doesn't keep safe is a popcorn ceiling. So let me show you how this flies. And this is a very basic controller. This basically only tells you that it's on, it's active, and there's how much battery power you have, but that's just about it. And I'm just waiting for it to communicate back and forth. Let's see. And the way I can tell if things are ready to roll is I just kick these in, and if it turns on, it's ready. And it can be a little bit finicky, so sometimes I have to turn the drone itself on and off a couple of times until this will finally communicate with it. So you can see it's not the same level of reliability that I have with the DJI drone. But what it is just superb at is, again, the left and the right controls, they do exactly what that drone does. And it also forces you to learn a little bit of fly by the seat of your pants, so that if it starts heading someplace, like toward a popcorn ceiling, you'll know, pull this back and have it come down as quickly as possible. Let's see if we're talking yet. Okay. There we go. So look, it's doing the exact same thing, but I have less control, so whoa. Wow, do I have less control? I'm glad there's no popcorn out here. It just bounced off, you can't see it, but it just bounced off the lawn. It's getting breezy out here. So I'm trying to get it to come back to me. Oops. Okay, it just immediately went out into a field and flipped over. Again, there's a breeze out here. But before you try an expensive drone, try this. Just try it. And it also, you'll know whether you like flying a drone or not, whether it's something you enjoy. And this does have a really rudimentary camera on it. It's somewhat sort of kind of reliable. But all in all, this was the model that most people that I saw online recommended if you were starting out with a drone, and quite frankly, they were right. So I'm gonna go pick up that drone. I'll be right back. And the other thing I love this toy drone for is exercise, because I can guarantee you're gonna have to run all over the place retrieving it, especially if it's a little bit windy, but you just might find some golf balls, which, you know, that's not a bad deal. And so what I can tell you, I'm gonna wrap this video up, is I really enjoy the Zoom. I think we're going to have some great times together. I'm going to get some great video for my YouTube videos, and I'm just really looking forward to this. And I hope through my trial and error, it becomes a little easier should you buy a professional drone should you buy one. I hope it makes it a little easier for you, and also to realize I'm a beginner, I'm gonna make mistakes, but I'm not gonna give up. I'll get this down. I mean, if you can drive a car, you can drive this. You'll get it down. You'll get it down fine. Just follow the rules, follow the manual that came with it, follow the FAA rules, keep other people safe, get liability insurance if you are going to be around a lot of people and other people's property. And also, if you're going to use this for any kind of income, make sure you get your FAA drone pilot's license, because otherwise you're not supposed to make any money, not supposed to do this for hire unless you have one of their licenses. And that is actually the next step for me, actually starting this week, is I'm going to start reading up and take that exam, because I believe that if you know the rules inside and out and what the aircraft is capable of inside and out, then everyone's going to be much safer, and you're going to get a lot more joy out of your drone. So I'm Larry Richardson. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next time I film a video with the drone, and hopefully by then we're going to have some pro footage. So I'll talk to you soon, and thank you for watching.